I'm Glenn, and this is Sid, and this is Humble Beginnings.
Right.
Hello, I'm Mark.
I'm Eddie, we're part of Moose Blood, and this is Humble Beginnings.
Was yours Blink?
Yeah.
If we're being honest, my first concert was maybe a couple months before Blink. It was that same show. Was Electric Six.
Yeah.
Who
You tell me about that.
But if anyone else asks, I usually just tell them Blink because that's a much cooler answer.
Yeah, we both went to the same Blink show. Yeah, we
Yeah.
both went to the same Blink show in Wembley, and we kind of knew each other, but not really as much as now. We were sitting fairly close to each other, and we just didn't see each other the whole show, and it was a bit weird.
My first ever concert experience was Slipknot. That was just with a mate from college, with like American Head Charge, 1 Minute Silence, and I think In Flames.
The first band I saw was Cypress Hill, which I'm pretty proud of.
The main one I can remember is Limp Bizkit, Chocolate Starfish and Hot Dog Flavoured Water. And I thought it was sick because it had like that parental advisory sticker on it, and I got it myself, and I was like, yeah. So I was stoked. And I bought the red hat and everything. Yeah.
I think the first cool record I bought was I remember my sister had bought me a Blink record when it first came out, which was Take Off, and that was around my birthday. I remember getting it and then immediately going out to the shops and buying Enema, which was the first one I could get my hands on, and then just the whole back catalogue.
Bleach, Nirvana.
Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park. It's a great record.
Probably would have been a Nirvana one, obviously not a show because I'm 24, but there's there used to be anyway a market in
I was
Bay.
literally going to say the same thing, and there was there's an indoor market in Canterbury where they used to print their own shirts of anything. So yeah,
I had a CKY shirt from that place in Canterbury that I was stoked on because it said "fuck you" but with CKY in the middle of it, and I never wore it around my parents because
hidden band shirt.
Yeah. But Nirvana shirts. I used to have probably 5 or 6 different XL Nirvana shirts. Lost them all because I'd wear them again now because they probably fit, but I don't know where they've gone. But yeah, that definitely, I lived in Nirvana shirts for a while.
Yeah, I used to do that, buy them all in XL and stuff when you first got them.
Yeah.
I'm sure mine was a Nirvana face, the cliche one, when you're way too young to have heard much more music. But
It was it's just a Nirvana shirt with it was the dollar bill one with Kurt's head in the middle. That was the first band shirt I ever got. I lived in it for about 3 years.
It was a bullet from a Valentine t-shirt. I bought it at the show. That's what I want to say, really.
Have Heart on their last ever tour.
Cool
Fucking
answers.
love Have Heart, man. Seriously. It wasn't a proper stage live, but I'm kind of a timid guy, so I was I jumped on the stage and then sort of fell onto people, but that was awesome. And there's my first I guess aggressive side to side shit was I'm cool, man. Never Again, who are a local band who split up. They were an amazing straight edge band. I got pretty wild to them one time.
I remember my first crowd surf, I think, and I did it from the back forward in a festival, and it was the first time Angels and Airwaves had come over, and nobody knew the words because they played before the record was released, and so I was oh, this is cool, and I was having a few drinks and stuff, and I'd crowd surfed enough that I actually started to feel guilty for all these people in front of me, where I was ugh, because it was so big, and as for stage dives, I'm not punk enough, I don't know, just never done it.
First time I crowd surfed was the Bloodhound Gang in Cardiff. My first stage dive was not that long ago. We both did it. We played with Funeral.
They both went terribly. No, yours was actually pretty sick.
I flipped, but no one caught us. Both of us just hit the deck.
Yeah.
I was in a bad way for a good few days.
Yeah, my arse was done in for about a week.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It's always going to be awkward. Yeah, it's always going to be weird.
The first band I was in was just a cover band. I did Blink covers and stuff, but the second one was not much after that. It was with you.
Yeah.
That was brand new. we had our own songs as well, but it was like covering a lot of Brand New, Taking Back Sunday, essentially exactly what Moose Blood are doing. So it was pretty cool. 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? It's great. Time flies, man. Yeah. Like my first band, I remember I learnt drums. I used to play drums, and then my guitarist at the time like left school when we were like 16, and we used to practice at school, and it was like, what are we going to do now? So we like looked around, and Glenn used to play guitar, so then we ended up just like going to practice and switching around, and then I played guitar and he played drums. And
drums are way more fun, so
and then at one point we definitely learned like the whole of like Deja record from Brand New, and we would just play it like all the time.
Do you remember the name of that band?
It was When All Else Fails. Yeah. And there were about 50 other When All Else Fails on MySpace at that time. So.
Some awful college band. It was just a mix of anything that we thought was good at the time, from things like really bad Blink covers to like The Used and things like that. And yeah, it was shocking. And I've got a live CD of it somewhere. Yeah.
Do you remember the name of the band?
No. I was going to say no, because any kind of level of credibility is going to disappear.
I was in my first band was a band called What If, but we didn't really do much. And my first band that actually played shows was a band called Strive from Glory, with like a terrible deathcore kind of. It was really
bad. First show I played was actually that first band that was before When All Else Fails, because there was some like village fair type thing. God knows how we got it. I think my music teacher hooked it up maybe, and we were playing like Nirvana songs to 70-year-olds in like a back garden somewhere. It was bizarre, but yeah, that was my first show. I guess that was cool.
The band that we were in with Glenn, we had a couple of failed attempts of shows where someone would organise it, and we turned up to a show once, and like we were all really excited with all of our gear and stuff, and then they were like, "You're not 18, and it's in a bar, and you have to leave."
I think it was the venue that like Bane had played like a few months earlier before, and they were like, "Oh, the show, like the venue got wrecked because of that show, so we can't have any underage kids in here."
Yeah, and I think I went a little while with like having shows scheduled and then them just being cancelled. Yeah. And we played in a band. I didn't play for a while, and then we got back together and played again. And we had like a string of good shows, and then they always fell through. Like one thing would happen, and then it would fall through. So
we played with Daylight though.
Yeah, we did. We played with Daylight. Yeah, in like a basement, almost. Yeah, it was really cool.
That was cool.
It was with that band. It was with Eyes of a Traitor. Do you know?
Yeah.
At the Pill. Yeah, it was at the Pill in Kingston. Yeah, that was a great show. It was fun.
First show I played was it was in college with that college band, and it was for like a final major project thing in a theatre, like the college theatre, and that was about 150 people, and that was the first time I'd ever played a gig, and it was terrifying, but it was cool. It was cool that was part of college, was to play in front of that many people. So
I've done a little bit more than like this band, but still not a lot in general really. I've been to Europe with my old band Alaska, and that was crazy, like just hella fun. But yeah, I don't know, like that funeral tour was insane that we did.
Yeah,
because it was so big. Like we loaded into the first venue, and it like
what was the difference of like venue like size and stuff? Or?
Yeah, we like what was it, like 500 capacity the first one, and then like 1300 in London.
Yeah, it's really big.
Insane, like ridiculous, but so fun at the same time.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's the only time I've ever been nervous on stage, is like where everyone loads in and like they're setting up the merch and stuff, and standing back and you're looking at the size of the room, and I was just like, oh my god, there's so much space. Like I don't know,
like tiny dive bars and basements.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Was awesome.
The first tour in general, I think, was just a ridiculous experience. The first, we've like it's like such a new band, and then to go out on tour with like Funeral for a Friend, like the first time we ever kind of played any sort of decent run of shows.
First got to that first venue.
Yeah, it was just a ridiculous experience. It's like we just couldn't believe we had the opportunity to do that, especially with a band like that. So.
Do you wanna come over late? Yeah, to my house. Watch American Beauty in the dark.